Oh dear. Well, this video started differently because I was just reflecting on human history for a moment. And it's not a funny thing, but when you look at it, it's a very weird joke. It's not a funny joke, but it's quite weird. Let me explain. The human species, at least the biggest part of it, has fallen for the chief scam artist throughout the centuries, who is also the biggest coon ever. Yes, that is what Satan is, a coon. I'm not going to call him anything else. He's a coon. Now, what is a coon? A coon in street language, because a coon, this street language that's used by blacks. A coon is someone who plays the victim at the expense of others to get sympathy also at the expense of others. So they pretend to be the victim. They'll even pretend to be on your side just to stab you in the back. And even when they stab you in the back, they'll pretend as if they had to stab you in the back because they were defending themselves. So it's like this. A coon is a pathological, self-destructive scam artist that has to convince himself that he's the victim, and therefore others owe them to allow themselves to be victimized. So they are the victimizers that keep convincing themselves that they are the victim. That's a coon. And they will sell out. They will endanger their own to get this high, because it's a high they get. Satan is the first coon ever. He wanted to become a god. Well, he is a quote-unquote god, a god of coons. That's what he is. This coon, who was the viceroy of heaven, you can say the viceroy of the universe, because he governed the heavens. The heavens was the whole universe before the earthly dawn came. He governed the heavens on behalf of Christ. He was the most advanced man ever. And he couldn't stand the idea eventually that God was bigger than him. So then he became corrupt. He began to abuse, cheat, lie, scam others in the heavens. And those people there in the heavens didn't realize something was off with him. When Eve was created, he began to examine this new race that would come out of these two creatures called humans. And when he realized that the woman had a privileged position and that she was entitled to the investment of the male in line with the Creator's will, when he found out about this design, he lost it because he wanted to be the one that received all the investments of human males. But you don't get human males without a woman, because they need to procreate to bring forth more males. So he turned on the woman. That's why he committed violence against the woman to get a hold on the man in the Garden of Eden. This coon assaulted the first female ever, and he has been bitching ever since against every female that has walked the earth. Because every female that walks the earth is a reminder to him that he is not entitled to the sexual investments of human males. That's what he is. He's a coon. He's a sodomite coon. And this coon is the one the world has been following. He has this Nephilim bastard son of his, Apollo, who established the Greek Empire, and the world is worshipping that guy. When you look at the situation for a moment, you think, what? Come on now. Come on. What is this? When you see the bigger picture, you'll never be frightened again. You'll never be afraid again for persecution. Because now you know that persecution is an investment in that other guy, that coon, and that bastard son of his. That's what the world chooses to follow. That's where allegiance goes to. And let me tell you one more thing. If you refuse God's natural design for sexuality, you're making a spiritual and political statement to heaven and earth that you side with that coon. You become an Uncle Tom. If you're a man, you become an Uncle Tom that enables the let me remain polite here for your sake. When you as a man refuse the natural expectations concerning you about human sexuality, you become an Uncle Tom that enables that coon to keep roaming around the earth, bitching and attacking people to get relief. That's what you're doing. If you're a female, and you agree with that coon, oh dear, I don't even want to talk about you if that's you. Straight up. If that's you, a female agreeing with that coon, please stay out of my sight, because I really don't know how to talk to you. I don't even want to talk to you, to be honest. How can you, a female, agree with that coon who wants to violate all women, who wants to exterminate all females? Man. So especially worldly women who keep following that coon, I'm thinking, what's wrong? Oh, come on, this. I don't have any words for this. So believers, realize that when that coon, you know what I'm talking about, when he began to fight for his narcissistic claim to replace the Most High didn't stand up and says, I'm the Most High around here. Who do you think you are? No, the Most High didn't do that. The Most High, he's not affected in his being by what was going on. And what's going on because he's God, because he's in perfect peace. He's in absolute joy all the time. So the Most High remained in absolute joy. He can't do anything else than remain in absolute joy because he is absolute joy. But you get what I'm saying? So the Most High was not triggered by that coonery that was going on. The Most High remained in perfect joy, and he tolerated Satan to execute his campaign. And what happened? All the Uncle Toms and other coons in the heavens were exposed. And when those coons and Uncle Toms initiated a civil war, they were exposed once and for all. They couldn't hide anymore, and they had to go. They were kicked out. What's going on the earth is a similar thing. The Most High endures the violence of the reprobate, so that those coons and Uncle Toms are shown for what they are. And their reward will be that they'll have to share in the misery of the coon, Satan, forever. And Satan will not be happy to see them there, because he's not happy with anyone. So, believer, do you still feel intimidated by this world who follows that coon? He's not the viceroy of heaven anymore. He's not that advanced, great light bringer anymore. He's now an old, frustrated sodomite man who's aging as a spirit being and who has no future whatsoever. So, will you follow and obey Christ, the real king? Or will you cling onto that other guy with that with a Nephilim filled son of his? What will it be? The real man or that coon? Be at peace.